Hi, huge movie fanatic Nate coming back at you to review a movie. Actually, I'm coming at you with a review for a movie slash 3D Blu-ray review. I'm coming at you with the movie slash 3D Blu-ray review for the motion picture. Oh, well, the thing's kind of on it. Bait 3D. Bait. The price tag is covering the title, but as you can see, if you can see it, I got the 3D Blu-ray, which is 2D Blu-ray, and DVD for $2 used at Half Price Books. Now, I frequent, as some of you long-time fanatical viewers know, I try to frequent Half Price Books like once a week, 4 times a month, and check out their clearance DVD slash Blu-ray section, which is just phenomenal. You know, you can get $3 clearance used Blu-rays, $2 used clearance DVDs. I mean, because video stores are closed, you know, Half Price Books has really become my way of really seeing older movies and stuff, in some cases really old movies and stuff, and getting them cheap on disc like that. So that's been working out for really good for the last several years, and this is just another example I got. I picked it up maybe a week ago or something like that. Now, I had seen the Bait DVD at Half Price Books for $2 on several occasions. The cover is just so, in my opinion, so stupid that I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever, another $2, another shark movie, whatever. And I just never bothered with it. And the funny thing is, with the day I got this, first I came across a DVD, which was just, DVD for $2. And then I'm like, forget it, it's gonna suck. And then I kept looking, and I came across this, which when I saw the spine, because they're in the shelves like that, I'm like, wait, that says 3D on it. And I took it, obviously this is a DVD case, and I took it out, and I'm like looking for the, it's got the, to watch 3D version of this movie you need 3D TV, glasses, player, cable. I'm like, what the hell? It's like a Blu-ray in a DVD case. And it's weird because normally the 3D Blu-ray will be first plus Blu-ray, then plus DVD, and it's completely backwards, where it's DVD plus Blu-ray plus 3D Blu-ray. So it's crazy. But anyway, on to the review of Bait. This apparently I didn't know until I put it in, is I believe, well, it looks like it, might as well just say most likely a movie that was shot in Australia. And it's a 3D Blu-ray for $2, and it's like, the genre I like, shark attack stuff, and I kind of, as you could see with me turning down just the DVD of it, I kind of try not to waste too much time with it. But if any Blu-ray, any 3D Blu-ray, I'm probably going to buy for $2. It doesn't matter what it is, even if it's, well, maybe not that. But so let's face it, I find a 3D Blu-ray of Bait, a shark movie, low budget, I'm going to get it. And like I was saying, this apparently was filmed in Australia because, strangely enough, interestingly enough, it's got at least 2 people, I think just 2 people, that were also in the James Cameron executive produced movie that came out several years ago called Sanctum, which was also supposedly shot with like the Avatar 3D cameras, although the Blu-ray, the 3D Blu-ray, that's kind of doesn't look nearly as good as Avatar. I mean, it's just, I don't know, the contrast or whatever is not too terribly great. So, but what's interesting is, did I already say it? Yeah, 2 of the people that were in the movie Sanctum show up in this, like that goofy guy who's got the bends in Sanctum, if you've seen it, who ends up just going away and dying, and then that kind of relatively attractive, lead woman, I think she's one of the leads, if not the lead woman, is in Bait. I might as well just say Bait 3D as well. So what's interesting about this movie, it's kind of like a shark movie upon viewing it, is it's kind of like, having just seen San Andreas, this past May, it's kind of like it's an interesting idea. I didn't really know anything about it, and I saw this, like the tagline is "Clean up on aisle 7," and it's got a picture of a cart and a leg, and it's just like, what the hell? And obviously, watching the movie, I don't like to read the back of boxes, but watching the movie, it's kind of a cool idea instead of just the same old shark attack movie, in the ocean or whatever, or a saltwater lake or whatever. It's kind of cool where it's a combination shark attack movie and disaster movie all in one combined. because there's a tsunami like right around the coast or whatever where this grocery store place is or whatever, and of course, you know, tsunamis into the grocery store and floods it and screws up things and demolishes stuff and blocks the exit, so the people are trapped in the grocery store. And there's kind of two separate plot points, if you want to call them that, or scenarios going on at once, where there's a bunch of people, maybe there's like a couple, and then this other guy in the car park, which I guess is what they call a parking lot in Australia, who get caught in the underground, presumably, car park, and this one asshole and his girlfriend in the BMW, and the guy who looks just like Grady from Halloween 4, by the way. If you've seen Bait 3D and you've seen Halloween 4, it looks just like the same exact guy from Halloween 4, you know, the guy who was screwing Kathleen, or was about to screw Kathleen Kinmount before her dad walked in, her sheriff dad. Anyway, so this asshole guy and his girlfriend are in the BMW, and this one other guy gets trapped in the car park, and the rest of the cast is trapped, you know, upstairs or whatever in the whatever it is, grocery store or whatever. So it's kind of a cool idea. Obviously, it's exactly what I expected, just being like whatever, kind of roll your eyes, whatever, and just obviously, you know, being more of a low budget movie, you're hitting the beats of just what you've seen a billion times before. Like I already said, I will give them, you know, the creative twist of having it be a shark attack movie in a flooded grocery store. You normally don't see that, where people, the survivors of the tsunami, are pardon me, are, you know, basically just standing on top of the, you know, refrigerated food holders, whatever the hell you call them. I don't even know what you call them in America, let alone Australia, but you know, just like the refrigerated food holders where you got all the frozen pizzas and stuff like that, you know, that make the aisles up. So they're all the survivors are sitting on those and watching the shark. I think there's only one shark, maybe. I can't remember. Maybe there's more than one shark in the grocery store. Anyway, that sounds funny, shark in a grocery store. But, you know, then you got your thing, which is kind of lame. Of course you got to have it where it's like they could sit up there for days and days and days, but no, we have this dangling, you know, you know, that's supposed to be a dangling power line that's dangling and, you know, presumably gonna at some point soon fall into the, you know, water, which would of course zap everyone who was alive at the time. So then it, of course, you know, have this guy who decides to they build this makeshift half-ass, goofy-ass like shark cage suit around this guy and this makeshift snorkel breathing apparatus, so he walks in underwater to go and shut off the main power. That scene is actually one of the best scenes in the movie, where they do this thing where they outfit him with this gear, and he's, you know, walking into the back room to shut off the main power. So if that line, I don't think we ever see that line fall into the water anyway. I can't remember, but if that line did, you know, it wouldn't zap everyone who managed to survive the initial, you know, flood, and zap everyone left. So he goes in there, and like I say, that's one of the highlight scenes for me, because, you know, he's just, the tube they have, the breathing tube, is just as he approaches the power box or whatever, he's like, oh, they're holding the tube, but he's like, oh, underwater in this little half-ass shark cage suit. And he's just, you know, yards, meters, whatever they got in Australia, away from this power box, and the guy in the end is like, and he's like, I think he yanks or either that or he takes off, no, he probably takes off the breathing thing and goes to do the power, and then, this is kind of cool, turns off the power, and then he's all weighted down with all this half-ass makeshift shark cage suit. So then after he successfully turns off the power, he's like trying to jump up to surface, so obviously he can breathe, because he had to throw away his breathing tube in order to reach the, pretty cool, huh? To reach the power off thing. There wasn't even anything this cool in San Andreas, so this is kind of a cool moment of the movie. And of course he drowns. That was, you know, what seems like that, where it's just like, literally just 1 or 2 feet from the surface, and he's just trying to jump up to just get some air, and because he's all weighted down, he can't. That's creepy stuff, man. That's pretty good idea in the movie, and I thought it was executed rather well, and as I've already said a bazillion times, one of the highlights as dumb as it may sound, one of the highlights of this movie. So Bait 3D, what can I tell you? It's just this and that. We start the movie with a kind of a beach shark attack scene. There's this half-assed kind of romance that, you know, turns it into not a romance and whatever, just kind of crap. I don't think there's any nudity in this movie. I think it is rated R. Yeah, but no nudity. So if you're looking for nudity, forget that. So I think at the end of the day, I'll go 1 3/4 stars for Bait 3D. It's definitely a kind of a little bit of a different idea. I mean, I've seen a handful, obviously, maybe a couple handfuls of these just no budget, low budget shark attack movies, and it is, you know, it's on the top, definitely on the top tier in my opinion on some of these no budget, low budget, just crap. There's definitely a lot worse movies, you know, with worse acting and all kinds of stuff. So if you can find the 3D Blu-ray for $2, I mean, I definitely recommend doing so. I guess that pretty much does it. Now on to just the review of the 3D Blu-ray itself. Obviously, having been so excited to pick up this in a 3D Blu-ray version, I was just wondering if it even worked. But it is put out by Anchor Bay, so it ended up working. And I gotta tell you, I mean, what's interesting about this movie, you know, is that so many of, probably the majority of the big A movies, blockbuster movies, and summer movies now that come out in 3D are probably, what's that term? Converted, you know, 3D conversions instead of being shot in native 3D, which is as good as 3D conversions are. And you could probably show me, you know, conversion now and I wouldn't know. Like Pacific Rim was amazing and stuff like that, and obviously the Titanic 3D. And you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between, you know, you wouldn't be able to say that's converted or that's not. So I mean, obviously conversions are really great. I'm just assuming that this movie, because I mean it doesn't have probably the budget for conversions. Don't quote me. I didn't check up on it, but I'm assuming this was shot in 3D, like native. The interesting thing, having thought about it, is like, okay, you got these big, huge blockbusters that aren't even shot in 3D, and here you have this lower budget movie, which, like I say, may be converted, but I doubt it. I can't imagine they'd spend the trouble or spend the money to convert it when you can just shoot 3D. But the 3D, you know, was really cool because you have, obviously, anything underwater, involving underwater and stuff is really cool. Definitely a nice amount of depth, and you know, I've got a screen that is prone to ghosting in certain aspects, certain, you know, situations, mostly in dark scenes. But if you have a movie like this that has enough light scenes and enough, you know, whatever on the face or on the subjects, you know, lighting and shit like that, and the stuff isn't too dark, the ghosting is, you know, really doesn't really happen. But I'm happy to report that, you know, the ghosting and on my particular TV was, you know, 0 to, well, I mean, there's always some, so we'll just say low. I mean, there's low ghosting. The 3D was always really kind of cool. There was a couple of shots where, you know, the asshole boyfriend and his girlfriend were in the BMW and the water is all the way up to like the roof and stuff, and you know, you can see the water slowly dripping in, and there'd be a shot like this, and you know, a profile, and there'd be like dripping in water way over here and then dripping in water back there, and you can definitely see the sense of depth, and that's really cool. So the 3D, you know, obviously having passed up this movie, you know, several times in 2D DVD, the only reason I bought it was because it was 3D. I'm like, oh hell yeah. The 3D is rather successful, and I gotta admit, I think the actual 3D Blu-ray quality of this particular release is better than the 3D Blu-ray quality of Sanctum. There's just something wrong in my opinion with the contrast or the brightness in that particular release that was just like off. But this movie, like I say, presumably shot in 3D, actually, you know, the 3D gimmicks and all this kind of stuff worked really well and was a very solid, you know, 3D Blu-ray presentation. So that does it for my, you know, movie review and slash 3D Blu-ray review of Bait 3D. Of course, I didn't look at the DVD because why would you? But it's a so the 3D and 2D Blu-ray are on the Blu-ray, and then the DVD is on the DVD. So that's how that works. So I already feel like I wore out my welcome a while back, so I'm just gonna leave it there. Thank you very much for watching this review of Bait 3D. I mean, if you can get a 3D Blu-ray for $2, I mean, it doesn't matter what the hell it is. But I think I would draw the line at some stuff. So, but not if it's Bait. So, you know, recommended even if you get into, I mean kind of recommended. I mean it's just kind of an interesting twist on a genre that we're all too familiar with. So thank you very much for watching, and as always, I'll catch you next time.